I'd like to make a few responses to comments because the piece about being ashamed of this government seems to have gone a little bit wild over the last few minutes, and there's a lot of very interesting comments. One of them is well, there's the Little Englander comment. Somebody's taken offence at that and said Little Englander mentality, because I said that Rishi and the government were taking a Little Englander mentality towards Greece. Now I know you're just another metropolitan elitist who hates the working class and has never had to do hard work in their life. I don't quite understand how the 2 points follow, and I don't really know why this sort of level of absurd trolling continues. But just for the record, I spent a lot of my life working in factories, working with animals, and working with my hands, and yeah, I'm very lucky to have had a good education, but I certainly don't consider myself to be part of a metropolitan elite in any way, and like so many people, I feel, we're just managing to get food on the table, if that, and it's a slog and hard work, and it's slightly offensive anyway. But that's the internet. As for Mossy Chops says Romans 11:27. That's the verse that's talking about the goodness and severity of God, and so if you want to be severe to other people, be mindful, because we depend on the goodness of God, on the kindness of God. And if you continue to be nasty to other people, maybe I think the line finishes and he shall cut you off. So I think if the present government wishes to be aggressive, the electorate may respond in like form and cut it off, and rightly so. And then Mossy Chops goes on to talk about Alistair Campbell. Yeah, well, GQ versus Mirror, i.e. Golden Dawn. I don't understand the references there. Golden Dawn, I think, is a reference to Chrysiavgi, which was a rather terrifying right-wing marching organisation, which marched a few times around my home, and I was a little bit anxious, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that one's going, and I'm not sure how relevant either of those points are. But I do appreciate the many comments that are left here. The government says, Lynn Lovat Jones, the government is totally delinquent. They are a shameless clown show. Clowns work very hard as well. It takes a lot of training to learn how to do a pratfall, and it's very painful in the process. And what orgia? Somebody asks me what orgia is. It's orgia. It's just another word for fecal content, which is the limit of James Cleverley's lexicon. James Cleverley uses the word shit. I use the word orgia. They mean exactly the same, and fecal expletives. As for Stephen McCure. A great point. It's Little England. Scotland is totally different. We welcome people into our country, and you are absolutely right. I remember at about the time when I had dealings with Humza Yousaf, I was really impressed that he was holding little signs saying "refugees welcome," and I hope he stands by that. And I wish that we could direct more people up to Scotland, where I think they would be welcome, and it's an opportunity to make a new life in a wonderfully diverse and exciting country. I have great fondness for Scotland. I spent some time there, and I think the Scottish government. I don't agree with much of what the Scottish government says. I certainly don't agree with independence, but I do agree with the energy and the thoughtfulness of some of the Scottish policies, and certainly of the Scottish politicians. And there's a lot that Westminster can learn from Scotland, and particularly I greatly value the Scottish politicians in Westminster, particularly people like Nicholson, who I think does a very fine job in the digital culture, media and sport.